Welcome back to the channel, guys, and I hope you all are doing great. It's been so long since we are in this frame. I'm in this frame after the Ladakh series has been going on. I've been just putting videos of my Ladakh trip, and I'm so sorry. It's really not not consistent because of work and everything. But I had put up a story on Instagram asking you guys what do you want to see on the channel, and I gave option between Life of Shrey and the Ladakh series, and most of you chose Life of Shrey. So here we are with episode 3 of that series. If you haven't watched the first 2 episodes, I would highly recommend you to go check that out first. I'll put it in the I button up here, link it up there. Just go watch the 2 episodes, come back and then see the third one because you'll enjoy it then. That said, welcome back to the channel, guys, and I hope you all are doing great. Now, before we head on to this episode of mine, I would want to give you a really good news. We are now a family of 5,000, like 5,000 subscribers. I am so happy and so grateful to you guys for doing this for me. And I just love this community and all of you. I'm happy to share my whatever I have, whatever knowledge I've gained in this past years in the field of aviation and as an instructor. And I'm really glad that I can help a lot of aspiring pilots out there. And this particular video actually aims more on motivating you and telling you something that is very close to my heart, and something that a step that I had taken towards the career and where I am at this point right now in my career. So do watch this video till the end. It will, if you're someone who has just passed your 12th, and firstly, congratulations to all of my subscribers and students who have just got their 10+2 results. Just be happy, be satisfied, and always never think that okay, मेरे को थोड़ा कम marks आया या ये हुआ वो हुआ. Guys, just be happy of what it is, because trust me, this is not the end. We all go through that phase where like, oh shit, I got less marks in 10th. Oh shit, I got less marks in 12th. There's nothing I can do in life. It doesn't matter. Trust me, it doesn't matter. It matters what you're passionate about and how much you're willing to work for it after this. And I'll share a small story of my life in this video. So I hope you guys like it, and I hope you, even if it motivates you or even if it inspires one of you to do what you're passionate about and go ahead and take that one decision that will help change your life, well, I'll be more than happy. Please do comment below if you love the video. Let's get started. So I'm sure most of you have seen the title. In this video, I'm going to talk about how I started, or how my career began after I graduated as a commercial pilot license holder back in 2017. Okay. Now, in 2017, to talk about, there were not a lot of aviation jobs which are coming out there. I remember I graduated in January, like the first month of the year, and I was happy. I was really happy that after doing a 3-year degree and my CPL together with it, I finally got what I wanted. But soon after that, I realized कि यार अब क्या, CPL तो आ गया, but CPL के बाद भी कुछ है, like job is important, right? Coming from middle class family, even my parents had taken a small loan back then, and I didn't want it to be a burden onto them. I mean, which son or which daughter would want it? So I was like, see, I gotta wait. If I gotta wait, I gotta wait. I can't like just assume कि ये अगले 1 महीने में vacancy आ जाएगा, अगले 2 महीने में आ जाएगा. So the only thing that I didn't want to do is I didn't want to sit at home and just wait for it. Okay. So I was just searching for options, and that is where my first job was literally, I could say that maybe it was a calling, maybe it was luck, maybe it was meant for me, but yeah, I was glad. So where I did my flying training from, that is Bombay Flying Club, there was an opening, not as an instructor, but there was an opening as a pilot coordinator. So in simple terms, let me tell you what a pilot coordinator was back then. It's basically someone who takes care of all the admissions and guides the students, whoever are coming in the flying club, telling them procedure, documentation and everything. So it was a desk job, and to be honest, at that point of time, I was okay with it. I just didn't want to sit home, do nothing. So a friend of mine, a very close friend of mine, who's actually flying for India Express right now. So she just called me, she texted me and she's like, Shreya, there's an opening, would you want to apply? I'm like, yeah, sure, just tell me what to do. If you want, I can talk to the principal. And so Kumar sir, who was our principal back then, he called me. I called him actually, and he was like, yeah son, you can come down, I'll take your interview and we'll see how it goes from there. And so after that, I remember I called Priyanka. I'm like, I spoke to sir, and sir was like, "You come." And he even told me to prepare for a specific chapter. And now let me be very honest. I'm an air navigation instructor right now, and I'm happy and I'm pretty good with my job. Okay, at least वो लोग तो बोलते वैसा. So and at that time, Kumar sir, he was the nav instructor in BFC. He's still the principal at BFC. And he was like, you prepare this chapter. And I was not good at navigation, not at all. Like, and he gave me a chapter to study and come, which was not my forte. Like, I didn't know how I was gonna do. If someone, okay, students who are watching this video and who know navigation, convergency was the chapter. Okay, convergency and conversion angle. So if you can relate, just hit like and tell in the comments how much you have suffered while studying this while the first time. Okay, at this point right now, it's like a piece of cake for me or most of the students that I teach, but at that time it wasn't. And then finally we put a date for the interview, and I went prepared. Trust me, I prepared slides and whatnot. I was sitting in the reception area. Priyanka came, and the friend of mine actually, she came and she's like, I hope you're better prepared, like you're prepared and all, because Kumar sir is pretty strict, and like he wants his stuff, perfect. And that scared the shit out of me, trust me. And I'll be again one more thing, that in school, college, I was not like this. I was an introvert. Okay, like I didn't talk to a lot of people. I was good at other things like sports and stuff, but when it came to socializing, a big no-no, like a big no-no. And so again, going in there, that was my first ever interview. And I went in the room, and Kumar sir was there, and there were management from the club, and they all were there, and I was sweating. I was sweating like anything. So all of them, they were really senior people. I respect them, and I talk to them right now, and they're still the same for me. And they are all like, just calm down, son. I was very young back then. I think I was 20 years old. And they just calmed me down, gave me some water, and then we had a normal conversation on what I would want to do and why do I choose the job and why they could, what I expect and everything. And I told them that, sir, the one thing I want this job for is because I want to keep doing something. One main reason was that I want to be current in my studies, because I've seen a lot of people after CPL who wait for a long time, they leave their books aside, and then when the chance actually comes for a vacancy or when an induction is being taken, they're completely blank and you don't have enough time, but you have crazy loads of competition out there, and then they just end up not passing it. So I didn't want to be that person, and I also wanted to keep studying and revising. And if I was in an environment which was close to aviation, I'm sure I would do that. It would motivate me to do that. I was like, fine. They said, okay, fine. They asked me a few questions. They asked me about how my experience was at the club and everything. And since I was a student there, they offered me the job. And they said that right now, we are not sure that we'll directly put you in class, because I was way too young. All the other instructors were pretty senior. They still are very senior to me. And they were like, see, it's difficult for us because we have so many students, and putting a 20-year-old among 18-year-olds is something that, is not conventional. It's maybe the parents might have issues, kuch bhi ho, maybe the students might not listen to you thinking you're almost the same age. And I agreed to that. It was something that was sensible, and I'm like, fine sir, whatever you say. Up to that point, I'm okay to be a coordinator. I can help out with the office stuff and all, because I'm in the field. I know how much money anything it involves and what is the risk, so I can tell it to someone who's actually coming in for admission. And being young, I know exactly what's going on right now in the aviation whole field at that time. So I said, all okay, fine, and I got the job. Now the next question he asked me is like, when do you want to start? Okay, and I was like, sir, I'll come from tomorrow. And so I was like, no, it's fine. You're here out already. It's anyways the like 11, 12 a.m. PM. You just come. You will start the job right away. And I was like, yeah, fine, not a problem. I went. I sat on that seat for the first time, and it felt like an accomplishment. Trust me, I felt happy. The only thing that went through my mind was like, damn, I got my first job. Now, to talk about the salary and stuff, sir had asked me like, how much are you expecting? And I actually said that, sir, I didn't come here from a point of view of getting a big salary. I know that's not what I'm capable or what I deserve right now, but whatever you think is fine by you, I'm okay with that. I didn't even actually negotiate. I was like, fine. At that time, I remember the first salary that I ever got, or my first job, paid me 12,000 a month. Okay, as a commercial pilot license holder. Now, I'm not saying this to show or for you guys to judge that okay, you invested so much in your CPL and this is what you got out of it. That was never the aim for me. The aim for me was to not sit home and study. I knew that I had a plan right after that. I knew that this was just the beginning of something that I wanted to do ahead, and the money was never even a motivation at that time. Trust me. The only motivation was to get going, get started. I was young. I knew I had time. I knew I had age by my side, and I just knew that this is where it begins, and this is where we go ahead from and excel. And that is what I want to tell you guys, that I know you spent a lot of money in this field, but I get this question asked a lot of times by a lot of young people out there, and I'm not saying that it is wrong. Being practical is always something that I really work for or that I implement in my life, but sometimes it's also about how passionate you are. Okay, for me, flying was always the only option. I always wanted to become a pilot. Okay, and that is where I took my inspiration and motivation from. I knew that yeah, it's a glamorous life, but after a certain stage. I knew the money will come in, but again, after a certain stage. You cannot expect to do something that everyone around you is doing. Like commercial pilot license, there are so many pilots out there, so many aspiring pilot students who are in flying clubs, almost about to finish or have just got their CPL. There is so much competition. You can't be with that mindset that chalo, mera CPL ho gaya, chalo, I need a job, I'm going to make lakhs of rupees, crores of rupees every year, every other years. In 5 years, I'm going to have a Mercedes and I'm going to have this. Yeah, that is all that's coming to you, but you need to start somewhere. You need to tell yourself that this is step by step. You can't just jump from first to the 10th step, It doesn't make sense. You'll fall down, you'll trip and fall down someday. So that is what was my mindset at that time, and I gave it all. Trust me. At BFC, after that we were all friends out there. Everyone in the office, we were colleagues. We knew each other. We were all CPL holders, and we were also determined to do whatever job we got at that point. Okay. Later on, we excelled. We got more admissions. We got amazing admissions because we could connect to the student who was in front of me asking that, sir, what should I do ahead? And that connection made the student more, or convince the student that yeah, there is something that we can do and this is the right place to do it. We got so many people, so many students, and everyone, the whole club was they were so happy about it. Then finally, one day I remember Kumar sir came and told me that Shreyansh, I think I would need someone to help me out with navigation. So are you up for it? And I got cold feet. I will not deny the fact I got cold feet, and I was like, I didn't want to say no. Okay, so there is one thing in my life I follow: I never say no to an opportunity, however big it is, however small it is. If I think I can't do it, I'll find a way, but I'll never be negative about it because you don't know what unfolds at the other end. So I said, yeah, fine, sir. Just tell me when. I'll prepare myself. I'm not a pro at this. I'm not even close. I'm like an amateur, complete amateur. And but I will do justice by whatever you give me to. And he was like, fine. Now there was a very small batch which was starting in like in December, I reckon. And I was like, fine sir, I think this is the place where I would want to start and want to instruct not many people, few people, so that if I screw up or I make a mistake, I can come, I can tell you, you can help me out. It works easy rather than teaching a batch of 60-70 students all together. Just be a ruckus out there. So he said fine, makes sense. I started my career as an instructor, as a ground instructor that time. I catered to a class of 18 to 19 students, and from being an introvert to actually being able to communicate to so many people was one thing that I think helped me to develop so many skills in life and also to excel at what I do right now. Okay, being an instructor was never my first option, but I never let it go against what I always wanted to be. I loved that fact. Trust me, I loved how teaching someone helped me to learn the same thing twice, thrice, 4 times, and I don't know how many times by now. And even today, when I teach a new class, I have the same excitement, I have the same feeling. I tell the students so many things about how it is important to go step by step and how it is important for you to understand what you're learning here and not just think, yeah, I'm doing something great in life and no one else can be like me. Well, no one else is you. You should know that, okay? And you are everything that you ever require. You should have all the motivation that you ever require in life. So after working for 7 to 8 months, me and a couple friends of mine, we thought that yeah, this is what we are doing, but we wanted to do something more and we wanted to help out many other students to achieve or to come into aviation and easily do it. Because for me it was not really easy at the beginning, since I had no one in my family who was a pilot or even in close relatives or close friends. So that is when the idea of Maverick Aviation came into our head. We went and spoke to the management, our CFI back then. He was very supportive about it, and we basically wanted to charge the students a minimal amount of fee for whatever we were offering back then. I remember at the very beginning when we started Maverick Aviation, we just took 20,000 rupees from the student for 1 or 2 subjects, okay, which was the least anywhere in India. I could guarantee you that. And I remember we had 5 students, only 5 students for the first batch, but we taught them so well that all of them cleared their DGCA exams in the very first attempt, all exams, and I can quote it. I even know the names of the students. One of the students is right now with us in Maverick Aviation. He teaches a subject. 3 of them are instructors. They are flight instructors at flying clubs in India. I think one of them is selected for an airline and waiting for his joining. And we were proud. Me and my friends, we were proud. We were like, damn. Next batch we got 7 students. The after batch we got 12 students, and so on. We kept increasing to a point where we had to start this. We thought that, guys, this is working out. This is what we can do. This is what we want to do. We are capable of doing this, and we want to help out the community as much as possible. That's when we grew Maverick Aviation out of the box. We went out. We reached out to students. Every batch we aimed at getting only 10 to 15 students. Even today for that matter. Today we cater to around 15 to 20 students every single month. And I don't like to go above that for a one very reason, that even if it's my work, it's my business, it's what gives me my bread and butter. It shouldn't be like this is the only thing or money is the only thing that I want in life. Okay, I want the students to clear in the attempt, because that's what they are coming to me for. They are not coming to donate money to me or to the academy. They're coming here because they have that trust. They know that, okay, fine, this is the place where we go, we clear our exams, and that's what we aim at doing. For me, being an instructor is literally the thing that it has never been that, okay, I didn't get the chance to fly very soon and all of that short. Now we did this for 2 years, so from 2017 2019 I got my first vacancy of 6C, and that was a time when I was like, okay, we have set up a business model. This is what we started with, but every pilot's end goal is what? Flying that big jet out there, one of the big jets. And of course, for me also, that was the goal. I prepared like crazy for the interviews. Trust me, I prepared like crazy. I couldn't. There were times where I was like sitting with my iPad whole day long, studying, revising the same answers so many times. And in the same amount of period, in those 1.5 to 2 years, I already cleared my ATPL vivas and my examinations as well. So that was also out of the place. So the final thing that I wanted to achieve was getting into an airline. I cracked the Indigo induction. I was selected in April 2019, I think was my interview. In 2019 October, I went for my type rating. I came back in Jan 2020. We were expecting our inductions to happen in the same year, maybe in the third or fourth quarter, and then COVID hit. And then it was like, God, not me, everyone I'm sure was like, God, what is this? But that's fine, guys. See, again I tell you, what is yours will always come to you. There is no one can steal it from you, no one can take it away from you. And it was the same for me. I was okay. I was like grateful for whatever it is. There might be some reason behind all of this, and I know that a lot of people have suffered. But if you know there's something that is not in your hand, or something you know is going on, I'm sure there's a reason behind it. There's always a good reason behind it, is what I think. And that is what I always tell even my students or something, that see, try to go in a way that doesn't make you regret anything. Okay, go ahead and do things. If you're passionate about it, just go ahead and do it. Okay, there'll always be a way that will take you. There'll always be a path that will be paved for your success or towards that success. You just have to be open to opportunities. You have to be open to whatever is being offered. At this point, from that getting that initial 12,000, I remember my first salary, I got 2 watches, one for my mother, one for my father. Spent all of that 12,000 on that. I never looked back. Just kept going ahead, taking people along with me, and this is where we are now. And there's so much more to do. There's so much more to do in life, and I'm happy where I am. I'll soon be flying and achieving my end goal, that is, flying that jet aircraft for real. Like, the type rating is done, but again, still, sitting in that cockpit and actually being there, that is the goal of every other pilot out there. So to you amazing people out there who are watching this video, if you have reached till here, do not forget to share this to someone who is an aspiring pilot. Also hit the like button and also comment down below if you liked it. And never be disappointed with yourself. Never tell this to yourself that maybe I cannot do this. I know there's a lot of risk involved, but if there is passion in you, if you know that this is what you want to do and this is what will keep you happy for the entire life that you're gonna go ahead with, just do it. Okay, just do it. Trust me, there's always a path that is there. There are always options, and there are always results that you can get out of yourself, even in the worst of scenarios. So with that said, I hope you liked this episode, and we'll continue with this series. And if you loved it, please do consider subscribing. It means a lot to me. Let's grow to 10,000, a family of 10,000 super soon. That's it. Take care, stay safe, and like I always say, stay golden. Bye bye. See you in the next one.